Andrew Lancaster had always been fascinated by the forgotten. Ruined mansions, abandoned asylums, ghost towns swallowed by time. As a photographer, he traveled the country, capturing the eerie beauty of decay. Before we dive into today's story, hit the subscribe button. Write your moral lesson in the comment section, like and share. That's what led him to Hollow Manor, a mansion that loomed like a corpse at the edge of Blackwood Forest. The house had been abandoned for over a century, its history buried in chilling whispers. The locals avoided it, calling it cursed, but Andrew was drawn to it. One evening, as the sun bled into the horizon, he entered the manor, his camera in hand. The air inside was thick with dust, the scent of damp wood, and something rotting clinging to the walls. Then he saw her. A woman stood in the ballroom, tracing the edge of a cracked painting. Her dress, pale as bone, swayed in the breeze that shouldn't have existed. Long, dark hair cascaded down her back, and when she turned, Andrew's breath caught. She was the most hauntingly beautiful woman he had ever seen. Her skin was porcelain, her lips blood red, but it was her eyes that held him still, bottomless, sorrowful, eternal. "Do you believe in ghosts?" she asked, tilting her head. "Not until now," he whispered. She smiled, a smile touched with sadness, and in that moment Andrew was lost. A love written in shadows. Her name was Sophia Ravencroft, and she was unlike anyone Andrew had ever met. She had an old-world charm, a way of speaking that fell out of time. She never carried a phone, never spoke of family, never let him visit her home. They spent nights wandering forgotten graveyards, whispering poetry beneath a sickle moon. They traveled to deserted towns, exploring ruins where shadows moved when no one stood there. Sophia would touch old walls, her fingers trembling, and say things like, "They remember, the walls remember." At times, she seemed almost frightened of the night, of certain places, of herself. "There's something I haven't told you," she murmured once, her fingers trailing along his jaw. "If you knew the truth about me, you might run. I'd never run from you." Sophia only smiled, but that sadness in her eyes never left. Then, strange things began to happen. Everywhere they went, mirrors cracked. Candles flickered in the absence of wind. In the dead of night, Andrew woke to whispers that weren't there. And in his photos, Sophia's face was always blurred, her eyes nothing but hollow pits. One evening, beneath a blood-red moon, Andrew took Sophia to a cliffside overlooking the ocean. The wind howled, the sea churned angrily below, but in that moment, all he saw was her. "Marry me, Sophia." She shivered, stepping back. "Are you sure?" Her voice was small, almost fragile. "I love you." Her eyes glistened. Then, with trembling hands, she took the ring. But as she did, the sky darkened unnaturally. The wind stopped. The waves below became eerily still. And somewhere in the distance, a guttural, inhuman wail echoed through the night. Andrew turned sharply. "What was that?" Sophia clutched his hand. "We should go." Their wedding was held in a small chapel, the air thick with the scent of old roses and melting wax. But as the vows were exchanged, a strange unease crept through the guests. The priest hesitated before pronouncing them husband and wife, his voice faltering. The moment Andrew kissed Sophia, every candle in the chapel blew out. And then, a whisper, "She does not belong to you." The guests gasped. The priest stumbled back, making the sign of the cross. Andrew's grip tightened around Sophia, whose hands were ice cold. Then, everything returned to normal. The guests pretended nothing happened. The priest finished the ceremony. But Andrew couldn't shake the feeling that something had changed. On their honeymoon, the nightmares began. Andrew woke one night to find Sophia sitting upright in bed, her head tilted toward the ceiling. Her lips moved, murmuring in a language that did not exist. "Sophia," he whispered. She turned, and his breath caught. Her eyes were completely black. The next morning, she acted as if nothing had happened. "You're pale," she said, brushing his cheek. "Did you have a bad dream?" But it wasn't just dreams. The lights flickered wherever Sophia stood. His phone stopped working around her. When he touched her skin, it felt thinner, like paper stretched over bone. Then one night, he woke to a presence in their room. A figure stood in the corner, tall, skeletal, its face hollowed out, its teeth too long. It whispered in a voice that scraped like metal, "She was never meant to be yours." Sophia screamed. The shadow lunged. Andrew grabbed her, running out into the night, never stopping, never looking back. Andrew was found wandering the streets the next morning, dazed, his eyes sunken with terror. He never spoke of what happened. He never returned to their honeymoon suite. He spent years searching for Sophia, but she had vanished. Then one cold October night, he was found dead in the ballroom of Hollow Manor where they first met. His face was frozen in a sad smile. A bouquet of dead roses lay in his lap, and when the police looked through his camera, the last photo sent shivers down their spines. It was of Sophia, standing in the background, her eyes hollow, her lips curved into a sorrowful smile, and written beneath the photo, in a trembling hand, "She is waiting, the whispering ghosts." To this day, Hollow Manor remains abandoned, but sometimes on stormy nights, if you stand in the ballroom, you can hear them. Andrew, Sophia, a love story that even death couldn't end. But maybe, just maybe, it should have. Moral lesson: the price of ignoring the unseen. Love is a powerful force, but some love stories are never meant to be. Andrew ignored the signs, the whispers, the shadows, the warnings. He was blinded by passion, believing that love alone could defy the supernatural. But some forces are older than love, darker than devotion. This story is a warning. Not all beautiful things are meant to be touched. Not every soul is meant to be saved. And sometimes the past should remain buried. For those who seek love in the shadows, beware. You may fall for something that does not belong to this world, and it may never let you go. The end. Have you subscribed to this channel? If yes, congratulations, you are growing every day.